Well, tonight I found the signal box interior, it says. We'll see what happens. Looks a bit fiddly. I hope I'm going to be fine with it. Let's have a go. Well, I just opened the packet of Metcalfe signal box detailing. It says £6 there. Wonder how long ago that was. I found a piece of cardboard and I stuck the carpet on one end. The piece of cardboard fits inside one of the signal boxes. And here comes Shadow. Hello, you come to see us? What you doing? There's no blanket down here today. You're having a look in the toolbox, are you? Ah, you funny dog. No, I don't taste of anything. You're rummaging in the toolbox. Come on out of there. Come on, there's nothing in there for you. Well, I think my son has just got in from playing baseball, and so Shadow's gone off to torment him now. But I noticed the levers on this signal box frame are all brown. We can't have that now, can we? Do you see now the ratio kit says white and green are a good idea. I think they probably are. And then they supply all the parts in grey. I do like their levers much nicer though. Look at that. Ooh, and that frame looks lovely. This would be quite a project. It'd probably take me a day or two to make that. So I'm going to start with this one, the easier one to make, and I'll see how I get on. I'm not very good at model making. My nephew certainly is. I'll have him over one time and introduce him to you. But in the meantime, I'll have a play with this, see what I can do. Ooh, that looks tempting. Nice fire. Bit of a flicker in there. Huh. You know what? The more I think about these, the more I see how lovely things could be done, but never get around to doing them. Let's get on with it, shall we? Well, I did make the table, and even that, it looks to me, let me hold this with tweezers so you can see. Looks to me like I've glued the lid on slightly catawampus. Now, how did I possibly do that? I have, you know. And the argument that, well, nobody's ever going to see it doesn't cut it, because I know. But it does look like a table. I think if I run a craft knife down the back of that, that would solve that. Now then, these things, the levers. Oh no, these don't look too bad, you know. But they are the wrong colour. Even I know that. As a kid, I used to go and visit a sandwich box. It's late, isn't it? I used to visit a signal box near Sandwich. There was one of the signalmen used to have his clothes dry cleaned, and I had a Saturday job that would go and pick up the dirty clothes from the signal box. And so we used to feel all important as we trudged across the tracks to get the clothes. Do these just push out? I've got a nail in my hand. They don't just push out. Let's get some way of getting those out, and I'll stand them in a bit of something and we'll paint them up before. I've learned that you paint them before you put them together, and it works better. See, me being a visual learner, I just looked at the picture there and thought, well, I'll just push those bits out and stick the sticks in and paint them. And then I read, you have two frames to construct, one with a track plan display and one just with an instrument shaft. Now, does that mean I've got a choice of two, or does that mean I do both? I wonder. Well, a way to do this would be to count the slots, wouldn't it? Let's count the slots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 2. There's 2. Oh my word. Well, let's push this out. I did that. Push this out. There's 2 on its own. Now that'll be for the level crossing wheel, which I don't think I'm going to use. Although Deal signal box certainly did have that, and so did Sandwich signal box. We could see the Sandwich signal box, we could see it from all the way down the street, and if that started spinning, we knew to run. That must be there must be levers for that as well. I should read the instructions. They're not in there. I've got bits of instructional. Oh, there we are. See, I was right. That's what it's about. But there's not a lever there. That's for the wheel support. What do you call that? Wheel support. I would have thought it would have had a fancy name. Perhaps it does, and they don't know what it is. All right, let's get the. I'm drifting off here. Let's get the. Let's get these levers out and paint it. Well, I must say these are quite fiddly for the. Simplicity of it all. I can see there being 1 or 2 lever holes empty by the time I'm finished. Rather tiny, aren't they? You probably can't see that with my fat thumb in the way. No, I can't see it. They're tiny. How are you supposed to paint those? Well, I've got a piece of black tack rolled out, so it's grey tack, rolled out like a sausage. And if I stand some of these up, can I do that? I can. Well, we always figure out how to do it once we've messed a couple of them up. What I'm doing is simply pushing the back of a knife blade onto the back of them, and they just pop through. So there must be a pip somewhere that they hold on with. Huh. That's one end. It's just that one's a bit sticky. I think there's something on it. There we go. So they're all popped at the top. And now we turn it around and do the bottoms, I suppose. Do you know, I was thinking about breaking them out and standing them up in blue tack, but if I can manage to stand them up in this, they'd all be facing the same way. I think I could paint them on the sprue. Well, there we go. It's not ideal, but look, they're all standing up, and I can turn it around. I've taken the other parts out. I think that's as good as anything. Certainly as convenient as the way I was going to do it. Well, I just had a look at the colours I need. Red, yellow, black. That white looks like it's done for. That might not be much better. What else do I need? Black. Oh, a blue one. What's a blue one do? Let's look it up on the interweb while I'm talking. Blue is facing points. Locks clearance bar. Okay, so we need we need 2 yellow ones, mostly red ones. Black was, what was black again? I am not good at this. Points. Derailers. So we have a couple of black ones, mostly red, some yellow, a couple of blue ones. What did I need white ones for? What were those? What are white ones? I've seen white ones. I know there are. Spares. Silver. We're in good shape. Oh, it's turning. Do you note I've got a bit of plastic underneath? Well, that looks like pink bubble gum. It smells of bubble gum too. I wonder what this is. That doesn't, oh, it is an acrylic. It says that. The stick stood up in it. That's not a good thing. I think I need to go out. I've got one day off before I got another week of work. And then I got a few days together. And then I'll be able to play. That looks like bubble gum, not paint. Well, I found another little itty bitty jar. I have a feeling the silver tops are enamels and the white tops are acrylic. Put that to one side. I've got this big pot of craft paint. I only need a daub. Is it still paint? I used this when I was making... Oh yeah, that's still... It does look a bit pink though. Yeah, it's sort of kind of red. This may take a while, so I'm not going to bore you with it. I will come back when I've done a few. But what I will do with this, of course, is pick it up and turn it around, which will be easier. Well, I could put a piece of the black tack on the card, couldn't I? See, now I'm thinking. So I'll just pick this up and dodge around with the paintbrush and see if I can't make them look red. With the paintbrush, they're moving a bit, but that's all right. And then we'll stick them into the, it's not a ground frame, the frame. And we'll see what they look like. It looks like there's paint everywhere, doesn't it? There really isn't. It's looking quite good, actually. I thought I'd show you, it's actually not as easy as I thought it was going to be, but these things never are. As you try to paint these sticks, they move around is the first thing, and the second thing, who knew? It's cardboard. Well, we knew that. It's Metcalfe. But it soaks up the paint. And so you end up having to go back over it a number of times. The reason there's paint all over the baser is I keep intentionally putting my paint stick down there to stand the, like that, to stand the thingies back up again. Well, yellow. Well, yellow. That one opens easily. Almost empty. I've got it upside down. Nothing's coming out. I'm not even going to try. It's going to be the same as the red. Apparently you have to buy these all new every year. So the red one's useless. The yellow one's useless. And the white one, well, fortunately, I have another one of these huge ones with yellow paint. It's like mustard. So that's the yellow. Where's a new stick? Well, that was silly. I let the stick roll against the red paint. And of course, it came off on that. All right, yellow then. Let's get some yellow levers sorted out. If I paint the backs first, they were the most difficult. Let's do that first this time. Trying to think on that particular line where the distance signals would be, even if I had them. They're off in the distance. Interesting, the tendency to look through the camera. It's all right if you've got... It's a deadly thing to do. It's all right if you've got the brush in the right place, but you lose your sense of depth. And if I'm not looking, you lose your sense of depth if you are looking through the camera, and you drift off. So you're just watching me do that instead of painting something. So that part of making videos is when you're the cameraman, I suppose I'm the artist, aren't I? Look, I'm a painting artist now tonight. These videos go out at 6 o'clock in the morning for no other reason than that's the time I'm eating my breakfast. And they're done automatically, but I can just check I'm eating my breakfast. I leave the house most days right after 6. sometimes much earlier, but most days just after 6. I can see, is the video actually out, and is it actually working, and are you actually watching it? And every now and again we get so close to the delivery time that there's a little change I need to make. So this morning was one of those times. So I went to work, I got there nice and early, made the change and then put it up. So this morning's video, you won't know which one that is. Several videos ago for you. I usually have several in the works at any one time. All the editing is done on my iPad, but I've got to get the video files from whichever camera I'm using. I think that's done, is it? I'm talking nonsense. Some of you have asked about how do I do the video thing. I really should plug the video program. I have used something called Final Cut Pro for decades. Love it. But I'm not using it. I'm using something called LumaFusion. And it is... there's no affiliate. I don't get a kickback or anything, but they are staggeringly good. It's so if you're getting into videos and you want to know how to do it, LumaFusion is the program for you. It costs about $40 or £30 or something of that order, maybe 10 more or something like that. It goes up. And it's a one-time thing, so you're not having one of those wretched monthly installment things. I know the black's good because we were just using it the other night, unless it's decided to die a death on me, and I won't even have to stir it. So put that over here. So yes, the LumaFusion, it's a great little program. I'm going to try and go in tight on this. There we are. If I keep my hands still, you'll be fine. It's a great program from a video editing point of view. It does a lot of lovely things. It's cheap, easy, and I have made hundreds of videos using it. And I don't know of a better edit system for basic down and dirty videos. This would be a basic down and dirty video. Right, I've lost one. So somewhere on the desk, remember I had one sticking in there. Somewhere on the desk is, oh, it's gone in there. It's in there, look. See, there it is, fallen out. I'm not going to worry about it. And then the cameras I use, I have a good variety. I have a couple of semi-pro TV cameras. Of course, GoPros and that kind of thing as well. Tonight, we're using an iPhone. 1, 2, 3, which is why it's a little difficult with the flicker and the focus become an issue. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. And I'm not going to overthink it. If there is a bit of brown, I was going to say there's a bit of brown showing it can be rust, but these Signalman were so proud. They used to change their... Did they get the other sides? I did. They would change their signals using a tea towel or a rag. I have changed signals. It's one of the things I've done it in for a real train on a real line when I went to get the laundry. Now I wanted a couple of blue ones, didn't I? Did I need white ones? Let me just check. The answer is, did I need white ones? I don't, because they're spare, so I can have them or not. Just need a daub of blue. That'll be plenty. I'm expecting this is why this paint dries out, because we don't actually use it. Yeah, they're at the most awkward angle. Ooh, I like that colour though. You're watching me paint, do you realise that? I can't reach to turn off anything right now. Now we've got to paint the ends silver. Lost another one. They're starting to fall out. This isn't a good thing. Yes, I'm using a screwdriver and there's a stir stick right beside me. And that's because I just got the screwdriver to get the lid off. And now this really feels like enamel. It is. Well, it'll do. Nice thing about screwdrivers in paint, if you get them wiped off quickly. I've had this screwdriver, this particular one, for, I don't know, it must be 30 years. Lovely. Let's put it away where it's supposed to be before I get tempted to do bad things with it. Because that's acrylic, it will be virtually dry. So what I'm going to do, just paint the tops of these levers. Oh yeah, that looks good. Oh. Sort of get through looking through the camera again. I was looking through the camera and couldn't work out why the brush wasn't doing anything, because it was about 1 inch away. You see the yellow on that one doesn't go all the way to the top. I am not worried about that. There's fine detail on this. Mostly I have never painted something like this before in my life. So if I'm doing it all wrong, please tell me. Quite happy to entertain your thoughts on how you would have done it. I love how people tell me, I'd have done it this way. Well, you could have told me that before I started, but you didn't know I was going to paint things, did you? But that is what this hobby is about, a lot of interaction between us. I really have learned a lot over the last few weeks. Don't say on camera, wonder how you do that, because the internet will tell you. When I'm wondering, I'm usually figuring something out. I welcome criticism. I'm one of those weird people who thrives on it. What I mean by that, not you're doing a stupid job. No, so somebody suggested hot glue the other day for the lights under the station, and I laughed out loud. And the reason I laughed out loud, because it would be perfect. And I've got hot glue guns. I actually was leaning on a hot glue gun doing the job, so it was just one of those things it didn't occur to me to do. Trouble with that hot glue stuff is if it does go wrong, well, it's true with any glue, isn't it? If it does go wrong, it's a mess, and it gets a bit stringy. But it can't be worse than some of the glues we've been trying, and certainly for lighting things, it's translucent, so actually might be a benefit to us. This paint is going on very well, he says as he slops it everywhere. Now clearly the fact that I've just told you I don't paint things isn't quite true, otherwise why would I have a whole bunch of dried out empty paints? So I have painted things, just nothing like this. I'm not a painter. I don't have the patience for it, is the basic problem. I need to be talking to somebody or doing something. I'm going to look at this video and it's going to be about 3 hours long, and all it is me chattering and you watching my hands going out of shot as I put a signal box paint job together. Now I'm looking at the backs. There's a little blue dot there I want to get rid of. Yeah, that's gone. Shining light, that one I've missed. Here we go, the other's all done. They're as done as they're ever gonna be. I know nothing about paints other than Humbrol. I know this. This was a brand I used growing up. This tin is probably decades old. I didn't open it tonight. We didn't use any white ones. So there's a couple of, and it says right on it, enamel. So I'm a little reticent to use. Enamel just takes forever to dry. And if you get it on you, you can't just wash your hands and it's gone. I think the white tops are acrylics. This one had dried out, needs to be thrown away. I don't believe this was much better. Don't recognize that brand name or that, but I do recognize this, Tamiya. They do both acrylic and enamel. Flat back. This is it says right on it, acrylic. I am going to try and find some more of these. I think I like these better. I've got many more of these. Let me show you where they are. So they're at the other end of the room here. There's a whole bunch of paint stuff there. These are the only Tamiya ones I have. Just a very few. Oh, there's a green in there too. We didn't need a green. These lids, I keep, those are from, well, you know what they're from, but I keep those to put things in if I'm painting. These little cubbies are not ideal, really they're not, for paints, because you can't see what colour they are. There is an old trick I used to use, I wonder if there's any here, it's a bit like these, you paint the lid. So just paint the lid with the paint, there's one there. You see, so that's me. There's another one. So just paint the lids. I haven't done it on any of the others. So these must be new. Or what's that? That's not even paint. Who knows? So I need to clear out. Some of these are certainly over 10 years old. These are all from England. These I know about. I bought these the other day, or a few weeks ago. These are from the big pots I showed you. These things, that's my hot chocolate getting cold there. I make Joker Marble. It's a board game. You can Google it. So I make the boards. I should really sell them, but I tend to give them away to friends. But they're lovely. And it's a great game. And you need some of this in each of the holes where the marbles go. Actually, that reminds me, look a bit like that when you're done. Need to clean this up, and then why am I bothering? Because it's useful. And then we got to wait for paint to dry. Well, I washed the paint tray and found out that it was indeed just the silver that was enamel. And so it, of course, is the one that's getting all over me, because it will be the one that is still wet. The rest will all be perfectly dry. All I'm doing is pulling them off the sprue. And we'll stick them in. Now, can you see? These look a whole lot better than these. Oh my, these are... Oh, this really is keyhole surgery. Ian, what have you got yourself into? Boy, these are tiny. So they need to line up. So we've got two adjacent home signals in the off position. I think the next one needs to be forward. I'm going to get called out for it. Otherwise, you can't have too many adjacent red signals in that position. And then I'll jumble them up a bit. So red, black, yellow or something. I don't know. Probably the yellows would... Look, I missed that one. I didn't paint it. Do you see that? That's annoying. But we're not going back. Right. So that's the frame. They're not all going to be level easily. Well, there you go, the finished article. Or one of the finished articles. The black one could do with coming back this way a bit. I may try and move it. The glue won't be set. But how difficult it is to get them all straight. Anyway, it looks a lot better than just brown sticks. We were doing great right up until the last signal, and this one had a bend in it and it wouldn't sit. And when I put it up here where I wanted it, it just wouldn't sit. So I've cut a piece off the end. It's shorter than the rest, but I can live with that. But the other one especially does look good. In fact, this whole thing looks good enough that we're going to have to put a little light bulb in that cabin now, aren't we? There's the signal box. Glue everywhere. And a pair of tweezers, so you know what I'm doing. I just had a look at it with a light in the ceiling. Ooh, those tweezers are not long enough. And if my finger's not long enough, what am I going to do? Screwdriver it is. Nope, need a longer one. There you are, my old friend. So I've got an LED with some glue. We'll put some more glue in there in a moment. We'll come down this slope here. You won't see that. And then all the way down this corner. There we go. Just need a little bit more glue. Yoo-hoo. And we'll put it on the end of the screwdriver. Ooh, that came so close to that window and I would have been so cross. All right, all the way down there. That's it. And then run this down that corner. And just don't tug on it. All I've done then, you can see the glue glinting down there. I've made sure the LED's facing us. The two wires are sticking out of the bottom here. They won't have to come out of the bottom and line up or anything. There'll be plenty of space in there. Let me show you. This will look a little orange. There we go. Think oil lamps, think dim lights. The orange look will start to look just dim white at night. The lower windows won't light up. They wouldn't have a big bright white light in there. I have a warm white one which would have worked as well, but that will look lovely, and it will be over the top of those. And in that context, that's the other thing I couldn't resist. So there is a flickering fire. I'm wondering if that's going to look just a little bit too yellow in the signal box, which is going to be very orange. I think that'll be just fine. It'll add to the ambience. See it flickering away there? The light underneath I'm perfectly fine with. That's all it is, little flickering LED. I do have to glue down the fire a little better, and the light masking will be black tack. That works as well. And or mix up, one of you have said mix up some paint into some white glue, and that works too. Is this right? It is right. But there's no glue wearing. Oh, it stayed there, look at that. Does need more glue though. I think I throw more glue away than I ever use on these projects, because you can't get a small enough dollop. Really don't want it on the outside here, but that's where it's going. Well, it seems like the trick is to hold it in exactly the right place. Well, these are the candidates that have applied for the job of signalman. Don't think I'd trust that one. Might be the signalman's wife or his girlfriend there. That's not going to work, is it? Sunglasses and a swag bag. He looks the part. He looks a bit like he's... we'll have to put him in the chair and see. Now then. Does that look like a signalman reading the timetable? I think it does. He's supposed to be a passenger reading the newspaper. Whoops, he nearly knocked all the other candidates for the job off the table. Here's another one. Yeah, he looks too much like a coal merchant with an empty sack. Yeah, I think our newspaper reading man, we'll just call it a timetable that he's having a look at. Now, I was just having a little rummage and I noticed a porter, here he is, pushing a barrow. Now, if I take his barrow from him and have him stand in front of those things, I think that is going to look lovely. So that's what I'm going to do. So whoever you are, sir, you've just got the job. We even managed to salvage the barrow. And there he is, and the little parts of the barrow that are still left in his hand are the right colour and will line up nicely with those. They were fit guys. I had to give this some welly. There he is. I think he works quite nicely, don't you? Well, the scene's coming together quite nicely. Running out of space, of course. Well, that looks kind of special. I haven't wired up the fire yet, but I will. Yeah, I think I like it. You can see the fire over there. Oh, this is impressive, Ian. What have you done? A little bit of detailing. Yeah, it took an evening. There is a track plan on the wall, of course there is. Yeah, and with the yard lights on outside, do you see the orange glow it gives over the track plan in there? I really like that. I've always found that the problem with detailing things like this is that people then give you some extra scrutiny. But I think this has really worked out very well. It's taken me an evening well spent. I hope you enjoyed that. I'll pop it on the layout in the next couple of days. I'm letting everything dry and I've got to wire up the fire, make the fire work. But thanks for watching. See you next time.